the military era, which is the PNDC, to the democratic era, the NDC, to Mills, Mahama, first and second Mahama's 2.5 years, and then his last 7 months, and then his last 4 years he spent. I see that the NDC as a political party is not a serious party that any Ghanaian should have trust or rely on.
Okay.
Because the NDC is a socialist party, as my brother said. But ask yourself, what has they done to merit that kind of socialist thing they always say? Because we know that socialists, as a socialist party or a social democrat party, you always do something that will favor the ordinary citizen in the country for him or her to enjoy, him or her to be relieved. But the NDC has shown nothing like that. Okay. Unlike the NPP, who is a capitalist party, but has created more room for the Ghanaian citizen to be enjoy more herself freely in the country. Wow. Let's talk about free SHS. Let's talk about health insurance. Let's talk about LEAP, Metro Mass, school feeding, and many more.
Okay. You've exhausted your time. We'll get to the opposition.
Yeah, so me landing.
Okay.
Based on these policies that I've mentioned, I think the NDC as a socialist party or a social democratic party has nothing good to offer Ghanaians. So Ghanaians shouldn't even look at the NDC because there is nothing new.
There's a patronized
NPP. There's nothing new the NDC can bring on board.
Wow, someone will say instead of nothing new, they will say nothing special. Okay, so we thank you so much for your submission. We'll get to the TEIN representative. So, NDC, man, I will give you only 1 minute, okay? This one I have to be very strict, if not time will go against me. So, I will give you only 1 minute to respond to what he said, especially giving him points like he challenged you that there is nothing like a product from TEIN to the NDC national that you can boast of. Can you give me only one?
Unfortunately, that time is not on our side.
Yes, but if you can give him only one.
The comments that I made that upon Nkrumah came and gave 2,000 was a painful expression by their own people who were saying it on grounds. You know, it has nothing to do with Vitus or the NDC. It was their own people who were sharing their comments. How can information like this to give us 2,000? I get it. After taking, so are you saying that all the money that Kojo Nkrumah has, he has been engaging in corruption? That's why he's getting it. If that is it, tell us. The assumption is that if you are a minister today, how much you take will be different from an ordinary person like you and I. So by expectations, why didn't they choose you to come as a guest? Why? Doesn't Kojo Nkrumah know that they run the association on campus? Therefore, when he gives them something, it will be of help to continue with the affairs of the district. He went about, I can't fault him for exhibiting his ignorance because it is good when you get to understand the issues clear. TEIN is under the youth wing of the party. And I'm sure if he had done his research well, he would have realized that in the history of this country, apart from Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the NDC built more tertiary institutions. Okay. And so there was proactive thinking that there was a need to form an association under the youth wing called Tertiary Institutions Network. That is the youth wing of the party under all tertiary institutions. And he has asked that over the years, has he done his research, statistics to check the instances that TEIN campuses have lost their elections? They were denied to participate in their national elections. That wasn't the case with regard to TEIN. Are you getting it? And as I said, he's exhibiting his ignorance, and I can't fault him for that. He doesn't know how the likes of Haruna Idusu, Mama Yarga, Ablakwa, Sami Jemfi, who has no contender in national politics in terms of communication, came to be. I'm saying that he has no clue about how these people emanated from TEIN.
Okay.
And their relevance in Ghanaian politics is highly appreciable. You have the likes of Honorable Sam George, who is one of the lead campaign of anti-LGBTQ. Are you getting it?
Yes.
And for without TEIN, where were you going to get such a member of parliament?
You came out from TEIN.
They are all products of TEIN.
Okay, so that is what I wanted to hear. So we've achieved our aim. He mentioned you are well served now, right? Yes. You don't have to speak, but you are welcome to Campbell Royal Tree, the best hotel in Winneba, close to Winneba Johnson and direct opposite the Guel Filling Station. Among some of the facilities Campbell Royal Tree offers its clients and customers include: number 1, we have a serene swimming pool where you can relax your body at any time, swim at any time, any day at affordable prices. In fact, you can come here 24/7. We operate all time. We there for you. Campbell Royal Treat is having an event center where we host every type of event. Any event you want, whether birthday party, weddings, any event at all, we can give you the best facility to host your event that you want to host. Campbell Royal Treat is having a gym center where you can gym your body at any time, morning, evening, afternoon, any time at all you feel. And we also have a kitchen where we offer both local and foreign dishes. Any type of food you want, just come to Campbell Royal Treat and we will give it to you at very affordable prices. We also have a clinic attached to the hotel where, in case of any emergency or any other time, you can go there for the services at very, very subsidized prices. We've reduced the prices drastically just to favor our customers. Call the contact, the numbers on this list. I just want you to use yes or no.
I don't have to speak there.
Yes or no.
I'm well served.
You are well served.
I even don't have anything to say.
Okay, so let's proceed to the next question. The next question will have to do with your position, your party's position, not TEIN TESCON now. Your party's position on or the take on the free SHS. You know, if I can recall well, in 2016 elections, John Dramani Mahama was not, or the NDC was not, anything Mahama would say is the NDC, right? He represents the NDC. So the NDC was not in support of the free SHS at that moment. He was expecting it in the long run. If I'm right, I don't know, I stand to be corrected. Both of you are here. I'm guided by your wisdom. And then the
take a question again. We would want to hear. We are on national television.
Okay, so I want to know the two political parties, each of you, your position, your party's position on the free SHS. Okay, when you look at the 2016 elections, NDC was not in support of the short run advocacy for free SHS. They wanted it progressively, but the NPP wanted it now, just like UGCC and UCC. Is it CPP? Yes. So let's move to the NDC, who will be starting first. I want to know your party's stand or position on the free SHS.
When I was listening to my younger brother, he said the NDC is a socialist party.
Okay.
And they have always even taken the lead to execute social programs. And it was funny, listening to him.
Okay.
And he mentioned
you have 5 minutes, so you
which
can.
Is the subject matter of discussion.
Yes.
You see, there will always be some level of cluelessness when you want to engage in an institution that you have no knowledge about, or an ideology that you do not hold principles to. Okay, they are capitalists. They departed from their capitalism and decided to wave into socialism, and they brought free senior high school. Now, there was a particular need that demanded free senior high school under Guma. That was when parents were not enlightened about the essence of education, and so children didn't even want to go to school. Okay, so it was that wisdom thought through that brought about the free senior high school. Fast going forward, realize that within the Ghanaian setting, there were even some other issues, pressing issues that we needed to deal with. For instance, we have children learning under trees. Okay, and then there was a need. If you cannot handle the basic problem, how do you go to the top, like the senior high school, to now put everybody there? Again, if you ask them how many senior high schools they have built in this country, they cannot pinpoint. Yet, they brought a policy called free senior high school. And the NDC position was that, look, for you to enroll such a program, you have to do it systematically.
Okay.
Because, one, you did not even think through to find out how many students are going to senior high schools, how many senior high schools are available in the country and can contain them.
Okay.
Are you getting it? Then they said, no, we have to all of a sudden, once we sit and hold a paper and pen in BEC, automatically you are qualified to go
to SHS,
senior high school, because it was free. And now, along the line, when we told them that, okay, let us review the free senior high school, by their understanding of this simple language that I'm using, they said cancel. That was their statement, cancel. So make it progressive, so that you'll be able to assess, okay, this particular school can contain this number of people. So let's see, it is a systematic process, like the way we did away with the introduction of 4-year system in the senior high school. You know, we didn't just all of a sudden say that, okay, all of you come back to 3 years. It was a process that championed the successful completion of those who were affected by that policy. Is that okay? So a policy has come, and they said, no, we have to all of a sudden rationally implement it. So they started the implementation without thinking about the consequences that may come. Then later, when the reality started dawning on them, we have issues where students were posted to schools that were not in existence, because they did not even know the number of senior schools, high schools that we have. 2, accommodation was a problem. 3, some of the students get there and they are unable to even feed properly. Is that okay? Now, if you recall, why the former information minister, Honorable Mustafa Hamid, who is now at GNPC, why he was fired, I think when the idea of free senior high school came, the finance minister, who is untouchable, and the last time I appeared here, Honorable Kenneth Foriata, I said, because your father is a village school head teacher, you must become the senior boy for regardless of where you are good. That's why that finance minister is still at post. That untouchable finance minister, the then information minister, Honorable Mustafa Hamid, went to Tamale for a program. And the finance minister had made comments that he doesn't see the wisdom in it for him, as a minister of state at the finance, you know, to send his ward to school free. And the poor farmer or the hacker who is on the streets also sends his child to school free. So they should make the policy in such a way that if you can afford, you pay. When the information minister at the time, Mustafa Hamid, went to Tamale and asked him, he said they should disregard the finance minister's comments, or he was the information minister. You know what they did to him? Right there, they moved him to Zongo ministry. They did not even wait to, who are you to touch the senior boys prefect, who is the headmaster of the village school? He was moved to the Zongo ministry. Are you getting it? And so, even the NPP, led by Honorable Kenneth Foriata, who is the finance minister, saw that it was going to have a lot of impact in the economy. And so, you are working, a minister of state, do you know how much they take? He's sending his child to school free. You, who the market women or our brothers who sit by the roadside to do momo,
the common ordinary Ghanaians.
Exactly.
So you
suffer every day.
You have 2 minutes.
Also have to send their children to school free. So it was not even a matter that the NDC as a party, you know, was even seeing the effects of it. But even their own members, top leaders of their party, you heard the likes of this professor, who at the time came back and said, no, we need to review the free senior high school. The kind of students that we are producing in the system, it is not what we want. So why won't we have students insulting the president? Because
so is it that the students produced are not good because of the free nature of it, or is because there is no, I mean, cut off point for,
you know, when you have a highly populated, like the elephant-sized government of the NPP by Nana Akufo-Addo, you see that things are just done anyhow. You have this person talking to himself, this person talking to himself. But when you have a lesser number, you're able to discipline them. I'm sure the kind of training that they drilled us when we were in senior high school is not the same as what we are seeing. So we have instances where some of these ones, they will complete with nothing to write home about. So you heard some of them insulting the president. Have you ever heard it in the history of this country? That senior high school students were demanding from the president, if you don't give us APO, we will vote against you. If you don't let us pass. So, look, what kind of indiscipline are we inculcating in our senior high schools?
Wow.
Because of the numbers.
Wow.
Finally.
Your time is up.
And so when we said review, they said remain cancelled. Later they themselves ran back the table and said, let us, review. Because they did not think about the number of schools that were available that could contain these students. So make it progressively, bit by bit, bit by bit. Are you getting it? So that all of us cannot occupy the classrooms. Now they finish the secondary schools, and they cannot proceed further. They have become nuisance in society because one, they are not morally brought up. Two, they are not disciplined in society to fit well with others. If they can go to the extreme of insulting the president, what can they do to you and I? And you hear every day how they are attacking teachers left, center, back. Wow. Is that the kind of training that you were brought up?
Okay, thank you so much for your submission.
So it is when it comes to the educational system, finally.
Okay.
It is a matter that we must not engage in partisanship because it is a very sensitive. When they say the heart core of something or the foundation of something, the education sector is the heart core of the state. And so the caliber of people we produce in our education system matters a lot in national affairs.
Wow. Thank you so much for your submission. Mr. Website, yes, that is the name I'll be calling you by for the purposes of this interview. So, Mr. Website, you have 1 minute to respond to his submission before we proceed into your submission.
Yes. Clearly, you could see the NDC's points on free SHS.
Yes.
And then the way my brother was speaking clearly shows that, in fact, the NDC as a political party has nothing positive about the free SHS. Let's ask ourselves, whenever students get the opportunity, or as a Ghanaian citizen, as a Ghanaian youth, you get the opportunity to be enrolling in a senior high school. Free, is it a crime? The leader of the the National Democratic Congress, NDC, who is His Excellency former President John Dramani Mahama, him himself attended free senior high school. So why is it that anytime the NDC gets the opportunity, they make themselves or they talk as if free SHS is something that has never happened or is something that is very bad and has happened in the history of Ghana?
Wow.
So clearly you could see where the NDC, and they will never change.
Okay.
And the NDC will never change.
As one thing.
Going to my point.
So let's start with your submission.
Yeah.
We've now understood from you that NDC years are hard. As one thing. So let's move on to your submission. How your state? Your take on the free SHS policy that we are battling with here and there. So you have 5 minutes to make your submission, then we proceed.
Free SHS, this whole idea, or the idea about free SHS started in 2008.
2008.
Yes, when
that was Atamil's time.
Yes, when Kufuor was leaving office, and then Akufo-Addo took the mantle.
Atamil's rather.
No, Akufo-Addo took the mantle as the flag bearer for NPP. That was when this whole idea about free SHS
started.
So in 2008, it was the strongest or the greatest campaign message we the NPP were using. And then unfortunately, we lost elections. Going to 2012 elections, this same free SHS was what we were holding. And then we lost 2012. We all know what happened at Farija and his people, what happened in courts. And then in 2016, again, Nana Akufo-Addo came up with this same campaign message, free SHS. So free SHS 2008 he lost, free SHS 2012 he lost, and then free SHS 2016. So I'll be very surprised if my brother sits here today and tell me the NPP has no idea about even the policy that we has brought. But I'll not blame him because my brother here and then his NDC always see free SHS as a bad policy. NPP or myself will never say free SHS has been that successful as we want. No, it has never been successful. But that does not reboot the fact that free SHS in 2016 till date has had over 2.8 million students.
Over 2.8 million students
who are from 2017 till date
being produced from SHS.
Wow. And then people those who are still enjoying.
Wow.
Over 2.8 million students. Every student is being used, or an amount of 9,000 Ghana cedis is used on every student. So over 25.2 billion Ghana cedis has been spent on students, which is we provide them with books. During our time, my brother, myself, during our time when we were in school, we used to buy pamphlets. But now, because of free SHS, the government is providing it for free. I remember when I was going to school, I sent mattress. But now, government is providing it for free. I bought school uniform. Now, government is providing it for free. In fact,
everything is
for free.
Wow.
And everything, even registration fees.
Let me
free.
Let me ask this before you have only 2 minutes to wrap up. So, but let me ask this question. What's the motive behind the free SHS? Is it to win elections or to better the society? I just want to know.
Once there is too much of illiteracy rate in our society, we will not get the better Ghana we want. Or a society where there are too much of illiteracy, you can see they always lack development. Had there not been illiteracy, the NDC will not go to a community in Asen North and be saying Nanado and his NPP wants a parliamentary candidate so that they can legalize LGBTQ+, whilst they know that the speaker, speaker and his first deputy or his deputy speaker, and then our MP, Honorable Afenyo Marcus and Co, are in support of what Sam George is saying. But me or anyone that at least has that educational knowledge, that some kind of educational background, intellectual background, will not go for this. So free SHS, and then this policy again has made Ghanaians and myself to know that Mahama and his NDC are not to be trusted, because they made us believe they have built a lot of schools.
Okay, so clear-cut points is to better society and not to win election.
Yes.
Okay. So you have 1 minute more to wrap up. So summarize your submission.
So my brother was saying some students do not get places, classrooms, and then other stuff. The NDC made us to believe they have completed all senior high schools in Ghana. So where are the schools? Or did Mahama take it when he was leaving office?
They have completed.
And then now,
have you numbered it? They've completed how many senior high?
The NDC started at 125 E-blocks. Sami Jamfi always give two different figures. Sometimes you hear him saying 123. As the NDC were leaving office, they have completed only 22, which was funded by World Bank.
Okay.
And then my brother again asked, has NPP built any senior high school? You know one thing about NDC. NPP will not build a new school, but I'm coming from Bono East region, a community, a nearby community there, which is Kwase. Kwase is in the Bono region, Honorable Sedun Katias region. There's a senior high school which is called Kustek. My brother, the last time I went there, I was amazed. The kind of buildings that has been added to the school just to accommodate students can build about 3 or 4 e-blocks. Go to Atebubu, go to Kwame Danso, e-blocks Mahama built. They have added dormitories and then new classroom facilities just to accommodate students. Wow. So should and the NPP leave these schools and they go and build another blocks, e-blocks in the bush, which are not being used. Past Kumasi to Techman Road, you will see number of e-blocks built in the bush.
Wow.
Okay, even Asen Central just here, Asen Central here, you will see the number of e-blocks left in the bush. Japan's area.
Okay, thank you so much for your submission. Your time is up. You've exhausted all your time. So let's get back to the NDC representative. So you are going to answer this in 1 minute, only 1 minute to him. Like you are going to answer him in 1 minute. And let me ask this question. It interests me so much. He said Sami Jamfi, or your communication, that was your communication director, right?
He is.
He is now. Okay. That Sami Jamfi mentioned 125 e-blocks. He later on, contradicting. He said 123 again, and ended up finally producing 22 which are well ready-made or completed. So what
and
is your
was
take
funded by World Bank.
World Bank.
Yes.
Okay, good. So
Before
what is
I
your
come
take on
that
this
point?
Yeah.
I think he there was something that was misleading. It was the same thing that they did about the teacher allowances, training allowances.
Okay.
There was a reason why there was an allowance at the time in the colleges. Okay. Later, when we realized that teachers were not appreciating College of Education, everyone wanted to go to university. They said, okay, let us introduce element of allowance to draw more people. Then
training
colleges. Later, when more people were going in, and you realize that the element of allowance was limiting the intake. So let's take that element of allowance out, which they are trying to buy today.
The aim is achieved.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's substitute for Students Loan Trust Fund. They didn't understand the same way that they are thinking. If you say that some people enjoyed free senior high school some years ago, at the time, what was the condition? Conditions demand for certain direction. When COVID came, we had to change one or two things. Must we, or should we have gone back to the normal practice? So many people have died in Ghana and the world at large. But we had to adjust. So at the time, if Ghanaians failed you in 2012, 2008 because free senior high school, it's just that the NDC had stayed for 8 years and they wanted change. That was why it was not a condition of the free senior high school that made you win the election. Wow. And so for you to say this, it is completely out of place. And I was surprised, during the drafting of the 1992 Constitution, we brought everybody on board, and that gave birth to the 1992 Constitution. When they attempted using their so-called intellectual, did I hear him say that the people of Asen North are not intellectuals? Did you say that?
Oh, let me come in.
No, I want to get
hold on. Let him make his statement. We are dealing.
And so you think that everybody in Asen North must understand the English language before we can go there to campaign and talk about LGBTQ. So you people as a party have always undermined the intelligence of the people.
I want to
where our kings and chiefs educated before they started ruling us in this country. So why must you talk about intellectualism as if you don't venture into school, you are doomed. You are a prophet of doom. Is that what you are saying?
So
I just want to find out. Is that what you are saying?
I will get to him to.
And so at least he spoke about the fact that when we were students, we used to buy books. Today, the schools do not have curriculum. Textbooks are not there for the students.
Senior high school.
Baumia is saying that if you cannot solve your JHS problems, you go and propound another problem somewhere.
Yes.
Baumia is saying that he was going to give them laptops. He doesn't even know whether those schools, some of them even have electricity or not. So you said because you're not socialist, you did not understand the policies of the NDC. That's why you refer to those free senior high schools as those that were found in the bush, because you have no idea. Sami has been consistent. 123 is a number. If you're asking me about figures,
122, 125 to 123.
and I'm saying that if you're asking me about figures, when it comes to issues of figures, if you ask me when did Ghana gain independence, and I say 1961, and then I come back and say 1962. Okay, look, it is only under the NPP when it comes to issues of figures that finance minister has different figures, president has different figures, majority leader has different figures. and then vice president has different figures.
Okay.
And so I don't see it much a problem. Maybe when I come and say that okay, we have built 125, then but the fact
so you've let's take it this way.
Okay.
You've admitted that for the figures, I mean, contradiction and things, we should forget about it. It's applied to both parties, right?
It is not about applying to both parties. He has not been able to establish a point. I am only telling him that he has not been able to establish a point that okay, this is the exact figure. He says NPP said it. What is the exact figure according to your party? What is the figure?
Okay, hold on.
No, this one is just it's an answer. What is the figures?
Okay, you can come in with just straightforward.
My point is, listen,
no,
what is the figure?
Free SHS has exposed NDC on the state that they made us to believe that they have completed all senior high schools in Ghana.
Nobody has ever said
introducing e-blocks, which your government said they have introduced 125. You said 125. Sami Jamfi on Peace FM said 125, and later on another platform came back to say 123.
Which platform? What is the figures that government has as senior high schools that have been completed?
I'm asking
22. You are in government after 7 years.
You completed 22 e-blocks. 22. I'm aware. I'm on a national television. You completed 22 e-blocks, which were being sponsored by World Bank.
They will not give you the opportunity to come and sit here.
22 e-blocks.
I'll get back to you.
They will not give you the opportunity to come and sit here.
22 e-blocks. Let you tell me I'm lying.
No, I'll get back to you.
I'm telling you that
I'll get back to you.
The viewers are watching. This is something that
let him dispute the fact that they didn't complete 22 e-blocks.
Hold on, I'll get back to you.
22.
I'll get back to you. I want you to get this thing very simple for us.
Yes.
If you cannot, just let us proceed.
Okay.
Can you give us the exact number of e-blocks?
125.
125. Straightforward. So
and
our problem is solved.
Complete?
No,
it's okay.
How many did they complete?
Ask him.
It's okay.
How many figures?
It's okay.
Did we complete?
It's okay. You said
that is fair.
I'm asking you. I'm saying 22. What of you?
22. Good.
125, right?
How many did you complete?
125. Okay, so you are the main person in the party that claimed to have built 125, and you have said it. So that is what we are using now. So it's okay. So
no, that's not what we are using.
No,
that's not what we are using now.
Hold on. I'll get back to you. Maybe
okay,
you see.
Okay.
These are figures.
Yes.
These are figures. So if you have different figures, jot it down. I'll get back to you. So let's go. The next question is that can you give us only two projects that your opposition, that's the NPP, claimed to have completed, which in reality we cannot find them, or Ghanaians cannot locate them? only two, straightforward. This one is just numbers, so you have only
I think
3 minutes to submit to make your submission.
We have the is it Palugu? That is a community under Upper East region.
Okay.
Affordable housing.
Okay.
I remember.
Affordable houses
yes.
in Upper East
region. Upper East. I remember they claim they have. Work was the 70%. And I remember when City FM interviewed them, the contractor, the engineer, said they had cleared the bush. So once they cleared the bush, and somebody asked, but is it not logic? How does clearing the bush amount to 70% of job completion?
Clear the bush.
Yes, just a mere clearing of the bush.
And they said 70% of
and
the
today,
job
when you are talking about the affordable housing, they run away from these things that they say they are going to do, and then, or even the existing ones that are there.
And then, where can we date this policy you are talking about back to?
I think that was somewhere in 2018.
2018.
Yes, up to date.
Their first term in office.
Exactly, up to date. I should speak.
Okay.
The place is still lying there bare.
Is it cleared or work is in progress?
You can imagine if a land was cleared some years ago and left fallow, what will happen?
It will get bush again.
Exactly. So the place is lying there, and nothing is being done about it.
Okay.
Yet this government.
But don't you think maybe they went to build it at a different place? Have you done research on that?
Oh, so you come to tell the people of Ekiti that I'm going to build a sea defense wall for you. Then you go to build it at Cape Coast, and you capture it. You come and commission it here. I mean,
no,
cut sort. he come and cut short. You know, the president is popularly known as King Cut Short.
Wow.
When his colleague, President Mahama, was commissioning, and they titled him Commissioner General, he is called King Cut Short. Wow. And he cut short everywhere that he goes, particularly prior to the 2020 elections. There was, I think, an incident, you know, the Upper East Airport, for instance, was one of the ones that they achieved. I mean, they claim they had started work. But today, as we speak, when the NDC was in government, the original site was at a community in Boga called Sombrungu. They came and they had to relocate the place to Sirgu, Bolga Sirgu. Now, finally, I remember when Kofi Ada, may he so rest in peace, he was an NPP. He was the Minister of Sanitation before his demise. I think that the $1 million woman, you know, came to him. The one who is beauty and sharing, yes, it's Adapa. Good. He equally sent it to Paga. Okay. I think the Navrungu enclave. Okay. That aspect of the region. Okay. But you know, when planes are going to land, where the site was situated, it will have to cross the borders of Burkina before. So he said, oh, they had done some negotiations with the government of Burkina and they have agreed that okay, they wouldn't have a problem. But this was too risky. How about if at a point the state has a problem with its neighboring country? I get it. So as we speak, the project
airport will cease to work.
Has not seen the light of day. Okay,